I am cringing really hard today because the Willow kit came out, and once again, as you can see, I keep failing 50-50 to Jessica. She's now P4. And yet, Jessica is not benefiting from any of these poison characters. Willow is going to be a poison character that likes to resolve the poison that she does and apply a different type of poison called Poison Curse. She also does some sort of domain, but it's not a domain. Otherwise, it would probably overlap. We don't know if it's a domain actually, but I don't think it is. It's just a state, right? It's like Gatian when you channel, not when you ult, when you channel, or like it's like other characters that like Mercuria that does a force field, right? Now, let's read what she does. She is a Planta Afflatus. The kit came out a couple of hours ago. And now we're gonna go and read it and understand. Now, this is the first phase of the kit. It doesn't have the numbers. So having the numbers or how many of whatever she's doing it is going to be unknown until later, okay? Until we're closer to release. So for now, we'll read it and try to understand the value and like the doors that are opening, okay? Insight. At the start of the round, inflicts poison, at the start of the round, so every time, inflicts poison on several targets. Enemies that already have poison will be prioritized. When an ally attacks an enemy, Willow inflicts poison on their primary target. Upon entering combat, attack increases like 8 or 5% attack. Ancient Ritual. Effect enhanced. Now, Ancient, that's I3. Ancient Ritual is something that you get from your ultimate. We're gonna read it later what it is, but the effects are enhanced. Now, I'm not gonna read this, but increases Moxie limit and increases Moxie gained through casting or combining Incantation. This means that I don't know how much. It's probably +1. So this is going to be really good because it's going to expand everybody's Moxie and cup. And then you're going to get more Moxie by doing stuff. So if you cast one card, it's going to be 2 Moxie. If you combine 2 cards together, it's going to be maybe 2 or 3 Moxie if you also move the card around, right? We'll see. But this opens a little bit of combinations with, like, for example, Anjanala that is going to get more Moxie. You want to kind of rush the 8+ Moxie to get the double combining ult on Anjanala. So this could be really interesting and open for more things, but let's continue. Poison Curse is something that she applies on her own, on her incantations, okay? And she also converts. Now, what does Poison Curse do? Because it's poison, it's considered poison, but it's better than poison. At the end of the round, deals damage to equal to a percentage of the caster's attack. So Poison Curse is gonna deal probably the same damage as poison, maybe more. We don't know the numbers. We don't know how hard it scales. It could be a harder poison. Each time Poison Curse is resolved, the damage dealt is increased. And this sounds like it could be a stackable debuff that you can just spam on the monster, and we will read later why do I think like this. So for now, that's Poison Curse. Now, Incantation 1 and 2 are both one target attacks, so I am assuming Willow is supposed to be a poison DPS, which makes a direct counter to Jessica, because she is doing poison, she likes poison, she wants to convert poison, and she can convert poison that is not just coming from her, she's also converting any poison that is there. There is a cap, and we don't know exactly, but we know that there is a cap of converting per turn, per round. But it is definitely a character that you are now using as this is my main DPS for poison, unless the numbers are weird, but 2 target attacks, poison conversion, poison application, really big Poison Curse damage dealt increase stack. So yeah. Now, Ghastly Advice, Incantation 1, deals mental damage. If the target is under the effect of Poison Curse, converts an amount of poison stacks on the target into Poison Curse. This is what I was talking, and it has a max. We don't know like per card probably. So we'll see what's the max. Is the max referring to how many poison curse a given character a given enemy can have in the game? Maximum amount of stacks, or is it a max amount of conversion per incantation cast? We don't know that yet. We're gonna have to see during gameplay, because this is not something that you can figure out by, oh, maybe if they give us a max number on when we get the number version, that would be figured out. Otherwise, we're gonna have to test ourselves. Now, Incantation 2, which thanks one target attack, again, deals mental damage if the target is affected by both poison and poison curse, which is gonna be very common. It's gonna happen very often after hit, especially because there's a max. So in both the scenarios, you will end up having some random poison because she didn't convert it all, right? So this is going to happen very often. After hitting, triggers poison curse at an amount of times depending on the amount of poison stacks on the target. So let's read it again because I cut it in the middle. Deals mental damage if the target is affected by both poison and poison curse. After you hit, it triggers poison curse for an amount of times depending on the amount of poison the stacks on the target. So if you have an enemy with 4 poison stacks and 2 poison curse, you hit with the Witch Tanks, the Incantation 2, you're going to have a trigger of poison curse equal to 4 because it is 1-to-1 to the amount of poison stacks on the target. Now, actually, we don't know if it's 1-on-1. It says an amount of times. It could be 1-to-1, it could be double of the poison, like 2-to-1, it could be 1-to-1, or it could be 1-to-2, right? Per each 2 poison stacks, you get 1 poison curse. We don't know how is it gonna scale, but this is the mechanic that is now triggering. So you do want poison to be around, otherwise this card would not deal much. But if poison curse is considered poison, it means that it's resolving it on its own, right? So I would assume that it's gonna go away at some point, and when it resolves, you will apply this debuff. So you want poison curse to resolve, which means that it's slowly fading away from the monster, so you want to reapply it, right? Which is pretty good. So with this card you can keep converting for free really easily all the poison that you have, or at least most of it. Now, the ultimate, good in fire, good in shadows. It's a self channel. So it's like Getian flying thing, or it's like Anjonala ritual, or it's like the Chunians getting drunk, like that. Enters the ancient ritual state. Ancient ritual, all enemies are considered to have triggered poison curse a number of times every round. This amount being equal to the remaining duration of the channel. At the end of the round, reduces own Moxie based on the remaining duration of the channel. Then, inflicts an amount of poison curse statuses on all enemies based on the Moxie consumed. If not enough Moxie, if you don't have enough Moxie, you lose all to cast Dance of Frenzy and end the channel. Dance on Frenzy is a mass attack, dealing mental damage. After attacking, depending on the number of poison curse on the target, it deals additional Genesis damage. Now, this is a little complicated, but and it's gonna be easier when we actually have the character in our hand. You go like, oh, okay, right? It's like reading it like this. It's a little convoluted. It's a lot of yapping. All enemies are considered to have triggered poison curse a number of times every round that this channel is up. This means this amount being equal to the remaining duration of the channel. So we don't know how long this channel is because it doesn't tell us. So if it's multiple rounds and you have 1 poison curse, it's gonna be like +3 poison curse resolved, right? I've triggered. So you're going to get 3 stacks, let's say, if it's 1 per round, and the channel is 3 rounds, the self channel, you're gonna have like 3 debuffs triggers, right? Oh, poison curse, poison curse, poison curse immediately, and you have 3 stacks of this debuff here on the enemy. That's how I perceive it. At the end of the round, reduces on Moxie. So you do the ult, you have 5 Moxie, right? I am assuming doing the ult is not is not going to consume the Moxie, but you're going to go into this channel state and slowly consume your Moxie. And as long as you have above a certain amount, you're going to keep triggering Poison Curse every round that you have Moxie. Then inflicts an amount of Poison Curse status on all enemies based on the Moxie consumed. So I don't know if it's going to be -1 every time or if it's going to be more, but her being in this channel and her being I3 is going to mean that she has a bigger Moxie limit than 5, and she gains more Moxie gained through casting or combining Incantation. This, I don't know if this is referring to Willow herself, if she can cast anything during this channel, probably not. Can she gain Moxie, extra Moxie from other characters? Probably not. But we need to know more about this ancient ritual enhancement on I3. I don't think it is, otherwise it would be mentioned. So we're gonna have to limit test the character. How is this gonna be? There is a big potential to have a Willow with 6 or 7 max Moxie that for 2, 3, 4 turns she's going to blast everybody with Poison Curse on all enemies every time. Every turn. So yeah, if not enough Moxie is reduced, that's the second part. So if you lose your Moxie, let's say, if you go below 2, or if there is a threshold when after which you don't get the first phase anymore, like, oh, below 2 it doesn't work anymore, you end it, right? Below 2 Moxie. If not enough Moxie is reduced, consume all Moxie, all remaining one, to cast Dance of Frenzy and end the channel. Dance of Frenzy is the mass attack. It deals mental damage after attacking, depending on the number of Poison Curse on the target, not the resolved one, how many they have on them, deals additional Genesis damage. So technically, speaking in general, you're gonna have this Willow doing ritual, ultimate, self-channel, right? It does the self-channel, ancient ritual starts. Now she has maximum Moxie, might be 6, might be 7, we don't know. Tum, 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 -1, 6. Blast of Poison Curse. Immediately on self-channel, applies, triggers every Poison Curse on the enemy. So you immediately start with some debuff. Then it's like boom, 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 -1, blast. -1, blast. -1, blast. Oh, you're locked on the threshold, or you are at 0 Moxie, or maybe 2 or below. Now you end the blasting and you do a one final explosion of damage and do this Dance of Frenzy. That's how I interpret it, which is pretty fun. Just imagining it. We saw the ult as well in the trailer, but obviously they do it subtly, so it's a little weird to check. Like it's hard to check what is she doing, and the channel is not shown. So we are missing like 60% of that ult besides the initial dance thing. But this character looks really interesting, and we now have, like I was saying in the past, we now have another character to do a proper poison comp, because we have Tuesday as well, and we might be able to do some insane things, you know, with the existence of Anjonala. How is that gonna work? If you do a contract with Anjonala on Willow, what is it gonna happen? Is Willow channel going to scale with Anjonala Moxie? Is that gonna happen? Because if that happens, Anjonala has 10 or plus, gonna be more than 10. Wow, how many does she have? 12? She has a lot of Moxie max, and because she needs to have enough for 2 people. So with Willow I3 on the Ancient Ritual, it's gonna be kind of insane, you know? When you do the Ancient Ritual, it's gonna have more Moxie to drain. So is it gonna drain Anjonala's Moxie? Is it gonna drain her own? But she can't use her own, so we'll see. It's gonna be really interesting to see and to limit test. There is a lot of potential here for crazy teams, especially with like Willow and Anjo. If that works, Tuesday, right? And then like somebody else that could help, like Vila or something. We'll see. It's gonna be really interesting. Sorry if it was a little bit confusing, but the character itself is confusing. So let me know what you think. If you still have some question, or if you think that I explained something in like weirdly, let me know. Ask me again in the comments. I will explain it to you as well, because it's easier again in the comments, because it's easier to type it, right, than to explain it like this. I can give a little bit more thought in that way. But really nice character. I wasn't really interested in Flutter Page anyway, unless she's like super giga meta. Hopefully not. I don't really like the character too much personally, just design wise. You can like her. It doesn't mean anything. I'm just not a fan, right? So, but I do like Willow. I think she's cool. She looks cool. She's beautiful, and she's really good. Looks like even if she's not good, I think this is just fun to play. Even if it's but it's not good enough to triple S. You know how I don't give a fuck about raids, right? Or at least triple S. Oh my god, oh no. Anyway, it could be fun, right? So let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.